But because she posts so frequently, it makes me wonder how credible the information actually is, because like I said, it just seems like for so many different topics, she has a source.
Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel.
Behold beach.
After taking a couple of days off, Katie Joy comes out of the woodworks and streams a live titled Am I Okay? In the live, she addresses all of the situations that have been going on, but tries to pin everything that has been happening to her on the lawsuit. After the live was over, the comment section was on fire. Eventually, comments started getting deleted until ultimately the entire comment section was disabled. Luckily, I managed to guess some of them, especially the ones that she was answering, and I'm gonna share with you guys my hypothesis why I think she's turning off the comment section, other than the obvious. But before we start, do not forget to go down below and subscribe to the channel and ring that bell button so you can get notified every time I post. Also, as a quick disclaimer, I just want to remind you guys that everything we discuss here in the channel is my opinion and my opinion only, not to be taken as a fact. Always do additional research from the information that you get here in the channel. Do not send any hate to the people that I'm going to be talking about in this video.
Am I right, fellow adult?
However, I do encourage all of you to go in the comment section and let me know what you think about the situation. In the already deleted live stream titled Am I Okay?, Katie Joy came to her subscribers to discuss the Tati Westbrook lawsuit, some of the situation that has been going on with her and other creators, and additional alleged rumors that have been going on about her. During the make of this video, I came to a realization that's probably already obvious to everyone, but I want to share with you guys and see what you think. So first, let's react to her videos. I'm gonna give you guys my insight on everything that I found fishy here. Let's talk about the comments that I managed to get before she turned off the comment section. I'll also give you guys my hypothesis of what I think is actually going on here.
Am I okay is what a lot of people want to know, and yes, I'm okay. I wanted to do this live because I wanted to come from a place of just being real and truthful and not sugarcoating anything and not doing an edited video where everyone would have I don't know. I didn't want it to be super polished. I just wanted it to be me.
I think she meant where everybody would have an opinion, but let's just ignore that.
And suddenly, like, all of the internet on YouTube put their eyes onto my channel, which I was not prepared for. I've never had this level of scrutiny. I've never had this many eyes on me before.
I honestly don't know why she's surprised. When you mess around with a bunch of creators who have a sizable following, and for no reason, you're bound to have their subscribers to come and defend them. And you're bound to have the creators themselves make videos about you, because this is a two-way street. If you're talking about them, they are going to talk about you because they have the right to tell their side of the story. And that's basically what they did. Especially when somebody tries to attack the credibility and the reputation of others by posting things like, "It's really shocking the amount of dirt that ends up in my DMs right now related to the beauty influencers on YouTube, drama channels on payroll, and it's more than just Jeffree Star using them. I'm learning that some of these influencers believe the rules don't apply to them."
I've only been on YouTube for a year and a half.
Girl, I beg to differ. Looking at her about on the YouTube page, it says that she made her account on October 1st, 2018. And let's say that she only made the account and never posted, which is not true, and everybody can see by her uploads. However, there are many contradictions to that statement, and I'm gonna show it to you later in this video. However, Emily D. Baker pointed out on Twitter yesterday, "I am trying to watch this without a crystal ball video. In the first minute, she says she has only been on YouTube for a year and a half. Her oldest videos are 2 years old and about 8. 10/18 is when the account was made. Plus, she said that she received cease and desist from Tati for 18 months. Fact check equals false." And if I'm not mistaken, she started her first apology video by stating that she has been a target of trolls for the past 18 months. So this early statement on this video makes it look like that she either had a lot of issues from the get-go in the start of her channel, or that she is actually lying. For the past 18 months on YouTube and Twitter, I have had bot and troll accounts stalking and harassing me. I have never been able to figure out who they were tied to and why these small channels continually cropping up, coming at me sideways for no reason. But it all started in May 2019. It has been relentless for basically my existence on YouTube, which has made many say I'm all about drama. However, the sheer number of these accounts and the daily attacks have been hard to deal with, and no one believed me. I finally have people seeing this today. Thank you. As per her own words in the street, a year and a half or 18 months ago is May 2019. She made her YouTube account in October 2018. You do with that what you will.
And I didn't understand like the community rules per se, or the nuances of what, you know, some creators appreciate, like and don't like. And
I'm not even gonna go too much over that part because I already mentioned on another video, but come on, just basic human decency. People like that.
I've also been dealing with a lot of criticism, but it's been very amplified lately. And I understand why, because there's this big lawsuit out there right now that has a lot of really big claims that I can't respond to.
Can't really respond to, but can tweet about it. Seems like someone is trying to run a narrative to sway public opinion, but not considering that by doing so, they kind of defame a person with no evidence and seek to embarrass the person and reduce credibility. Again, my opinion. Not how I do things, but that's just me. Which ends me here at publicity stunt, my opinion. Also, the evidence released kind of proves that I'm not the reason for someone's company getting hurt. The partners are each blaming the other for the damage of the company, and my name isn't ever mentioned, my opinion. According to the documents I read, it seems like they were kind of arguing about the business direction, and they are both accusing the other of the company being damaged. Before I knew they existed, my opinion. I will wait for someone else to catch up and maybe apologize. And let's not forget that the first thing she did once she found out she was getting sued was to come on her live and read this letter to everyone in response of the lawsuit. And as expected, the live has been deleted or privated. It's no longer in her channel. I have made a video about it and I will link it down in the description below. She also published a bunch of other tweets attacking the attorneys of Tati Westbrook and talking generally about the lawsuit and deleting them as well. P.S. I was biased about Tati because I've done months of research on this story, and her husband is a damn fraud. You shouldn't want frauds in the community, my opinion. In the same live, she debunks her notion that her research took months. Obviously, we already know that she's lying about it, but we're gonna discuss that further. Now, I want to concentrate on the fact that because she has been talking so much about the lawsuit in various media outlets, Emily D. Baker pointed out that that's very risky for her, for a very good reason.
If anyone in a case talks openly about what their lawyer said, my lawyer said this case has no merit, my lawyer told me to do this, my lawyer told me to do that, guess what? Guess what? You waive attorney-client privilege. What the actual fuck? The lawyer can now bring your lawyer conversations into discovery. Into discovery. What the fuck?
People are trying to sort of, I think, dissect everything I do to justify what they're seeing in the complaint.
I beg to differ. Everybody is not dissecting everything that you do because of the complaint. Everybody's talking about you because you are still trying to threaten people with tweets like this. Drama channels are allegedly still on payroll, and I have a pretty good idea who is funding it this time. But what do I know? That's just my opinion. Just know everything they're saying right now might get them involved in a lawsuit they don't want to be in. If I were Dustin, Nick, Rich, and Angelica, Angelica, I'd probably cease and desist. Don't say I didn't warn you.
Unfortunately, when you're in a lawsuit, you can't speak. You can't talk about it. You can't answer questions about it. You can't share details about it. You can't tell anyone what's happening because you don't want the other side to know what you're working on, and you can't until things are filed. This week, we are filing a document. So You guys are going to get some answers, and I hope this will sort of calm down some of the waters when you get a better understanding of what, from our side, what's been going on, and from our side, what has been said, and from our side, what we've been experiencing, really what we're facing and what I didn't do.
We're waiting for it, sis, because as Emily D. Baker says,
The only side that has shown up in court is Tati's side. So guess what? We talked about those court documents. When another lawyer files another court document, then we'll talk about those court documents. That's how that works.
And I understand like why it's happening, because there's only one side of the story out right now, so it appears as though I'm really this bad person.
it's incredible how hard she's trying to pin this lawsuit as the reason why all of this is happening to her. You all are very smart, and you can see that there is a lot more to it even before this lawsuit. I'm sorry for beating this dead horse. It just annoys me so much to see how she's trying to manipulate the situation and try to throw all of this into the lawsuit.
My subscribers, they know who I am. They know how I conduct my research.
You know what's really ridiculous in all of this is I was doing research about this before we went online because I wanted to know who she is. Her name is frickin' Tanya. Her name is Tanya Crevens. Tanya Crevens. How interesting is that? She's not Tati. She's not Tatiana. She's Tanya Crevens from Washington. Her husband's name is James Westbrook, and he has got a rap sheet like you wouldn't want to believe. And you know, like, this is the problem with being the job that I have, is I end up doing, you know, background checks, and I end up looking into criminal records, and I end up looking at financial records, and I start looking into these people, and I'm like, holy crap, these people are not good people. And her name is not Tatiana, and she's not Tati, she's freaking Tanya. She's a failed actress. She was an actress in the 1990s and the 2000s and Unsolved Mysteries and some video games, and that didn't work out, so then she decided to become a beauty blogger. And listen, I'm not against beauty bloggers, but it explains her fake tears. It explains all of this bull crap she pulled on him. And all of her I'm just saying, like, I'm not a drama channel. I'm not Dawn. I'm not. I'm just what I am saying is that, like, Tati is, her name is Tati. She's an average chick from Washington who's married to a guy that has a criminal background. While it's years ago, he still has a felony, and they have lots and stuff on their record. And, you know, like, you just have to remember that even though people are online and these have big platforms, they're still people. They still have their own problems, and they still have their own baggage. And just because Tati looks polished on TV and looks polished on YouTube, she's still Crevens. And I got pulled into this article because I hate people that push pseudoscience, and Tati is very much into pseudoscience. Tati is obsessed with vitamins that she thinks that, you know, are going to help your hair grow, and, you know, her vitamins contain mineral things in them that will impact birth control. Her vitamin line hasn't been doing that well, and I think part of that is because she went outside of her realm in beauty and decided that she was going to be a vitamin seller. She doesn't wear antiperspirant because she thinks aluminum will cause cancer. I mean, these are all lies.
If you guys have been subscribed to the channel for a while, you probably already know by now that all of the information that I put in these videos have to be just a couple of Google searches. I do not do any deep dives on anybody. With that said, after watching this clip that you guys just saw, I decided to Google Tati Westbrook's real name. Unfortunately, it's not easy to find with just a couple of clicks on Google the name that Katie claims to be the real name of Tati Westbrook. Talk about doxing.
I came from the writing world.
Did you? Did you really? Because after doing a 2-click Google search on a public LinkedIn profile from Katie Mensk-Olsen, which has been changed from Joy to Mensk, paints a little bit of a different picture here. And also notice the fact that she's still listed as a columnist for Pathos Inc. I love that for her. From 2001 to 2016, she is listed as a loan officer and a lead enrollment counselor for a bachelor's in business association program. That's not writing background right there. And then you have columnist from July 2019 to present to Pathos Inc. Most interestingly, overlapping with CEO of Without a Crystal Ball, October 2014 to present as well. Here she had a Facebook page and another link. At first glance, in my opinion, that looks like just a person who writes on their own, and she's not a part of any company. And if you guys were wondering if she has a degree on this, we will touch on that later. I try to look for information on why Katie left Pathos because there's a lot of speculation out there, but the only thing I found was this video from a former writer of Pathos, and this is what she had to say about Katie's situation.
Katie Joy Paulson, without a crystal ball, does not work for Pathos. She's re-added that back to her videos the last couple of weeks. She hasn't worked there in over a year. When she left, it was contentious. I saw some of the emails that involved her and one of the people in management at Pathos. She doesn't work there. It didn't end well. She has no friends there. She needs to stop saying that she does work there.
And that's such a silly lie because that can ruin someone's credibility. We all publicly know that she no longer writes for Pathos. I don't know why she doesn't own up to it.
I have tried to bring myself to the platform while I tell stories, and also be mindful of how, when I'm talking about stories, that I am cognizant of who I'm speaking about and know that the people that I'm speaking about could watch this stuff. Talk about how this dad literally posted all of this extremely private information about this girl and like put it on YouTube and put it on a GoFundMe, and he used a really popular hashtag right now that is like trending everywhere. So like that part of me that's constantly trying to figure out if somebody is lying or not, then I'm like, did he make this all up so that he could use this popular like hashtag in order to raise money for a GoFundMe? The little girl went from completely screaming to totally fine about it. It was like the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. They said that when they saw the little girl, nothing was wrong. She was totally calm and everything was fine. So they can only do, they're not there to like get into the specifics of a case. Their only like job is to facilitate the transfer, and there was a court order transfer, and he was ordered by the court to hand over custody. And it sounds like he's in the process of losing custody. Now the mom's side says that he has been kidnapped. He kidnapped the kids and has poisoned them against her and is planting ideas in their heads. That's what the mom says. She claims that this isn't true. I just can't believe he put this online. And I can't believe how riled up people still are about this. I'm like, you guys, you can't literally like, and people are just sharing the video like it's nothing. She was just being a brat and wanted to stay with her dad. Part of me thought she was just being bratty. Like she would just go from crying to fine, from crying to fine. And it reminded me of when my son pitches a fit, where he'll just like pitch a fit to get his way. And then as soon as he's fine. And then when he doesn't get his way again, he starts pitching a fit again. And I feel like the dad was just, by not getting involved, he was like egging it on in a way, especially by like, think of like how kids, if they're being videotaped, will act up. And the way that she was talking, it was like so, for a 9-year-old, sophisticated. I was like, how does she know these words? How does she know like all of, like she kept saying like, I have a choice, it's my body, it's my rights. Like where does a child that's 9 years old come up with this thought? Like it's my rights, I have rights. Like who's, I don't know many 9-year-olds that talk like that. Like I don't know any kids that say like, I have rights. That parent taught her, yeah. A lot of the language she was using was just very sophisticated. So then that makes me almost believe what the mom is saying. And then the judge was so angry at the dad, and then the dad is supposed to have everything pulled down, and he hasn't pulled down anything, you guys. And it's, you know, he's got only a few more hours, and something isn't right. And you know what's right? Whether she's a victim of what her mom's boyfriend did, she's a victim of someone. That's the truth here. She's either a victim of her dad alienating her from her mom, or she's a victim of her mom's boyfriend. But I do, you know, it's ridiculous. People just don't want to believe that a kid would lie, or I think people don't ever want to doubt that a kid is lying. So we never want to distrust what a kid is saying, right? So you don't want to assume that the child isn't being truthful. But I think if she's not being truthful, it has nothing to do with the girl being untruthful. I think it's the dad that's made her be untruthful. So it's either the dad that's at fault, or it's the boyfriend and the mom at fault. But the way the dad is acting, I'm feeling like it's a little bit more on his end right now. Kids can lie all the time. My kid can lie, like, kids lie. The idea that kids don't lie is ridiculous. Kids lie. Kids will sometimes lie just to get the favor of the parent that they want to please. If they think it'll like help the parent that they want to please, they can lie.
First of all, she's underestimating this child's vocabulary. Some people teach their kids to be more sophisticated in their vocabulary and to be smarter kids. That means nothing. Second, if you do not know what this clip is about, it's her giving her opinion on a situation where a 9-year-old child told her dad that her mama's boyfriend did something not very nice to her. And the clip that you just watched was Katie Joy's opinion on the child.
There's this clip going around of me talking about my research for an article that I was writing, and it's being used to paint me as a stalker. But I was actually doing research for an investigative piece that I was writing at the time for an outlet that I was working for. Coming from the writing background, you always want to make sure that you dot all your I's, cross all your T's, make sure that everything is sourced, make sure that everything has the proper like source references, making sure that every time that you allege something, it has a document to be sourced to, or that you're saying this is where this came from. And everything that I put out at that time was literally from public records that were easily obtained. It was not digging into anything, So all day long, I was doing research, you guys. Research, I tell you. Remember how I told you I was going to try to do something where I exposed Tati Westbrook?
Research for an investigative piece.
And I was like looking, and I've been doing this for 2 days straight now, from public records that were easily obtained. 2 days, thinking I would find something. When I started digging, was not digging into anything, into her background. And I have looked all over the place, you guys, everywhere, because part of what I do is I super chat. What do you mean super chat? You can give me a super chat if you wanted to give me a super chat. But part of what I do is I like to look into people that sell snake oil to see if they have stuff in their background that would make them less than honorable, something that might indicate that they are, you know, there's something legal going on, they have a criminal background, they have a criminal history, they owe money, they have like a reputation for doing all these things. And then when you go to her mother's page or her sister's pages, who are all still there, they're all like, she doesn't exist as a part of their family anymore. It's crazy. I started playing around even more and digging through more and more information, going through marriage records and through birth certificates. I couldn't even find her birth certificate, which is weird. There's like 0 records of her father, like 0 records. So then I start going on and I'm like getting into this conspiracy, thinking like her dad is dead, or like why doesn't her dad have a job, or her dad's in the mafia. So then I start digging through addresses and phone numbers and email addresses and doing all of these searches and going through businesses and looking at all this different stuff to try to like connect some dots. So I feel like there's a story here with her dad, and I'm not sure what it is. We're gonna have to keep looking there. And then there's something with her mom too, and I'm just gonna have to keep digging. I'll keep digging and keep looking on the Tati stuff, but I don't want to spend, like, I've wasted 2 days now trying to find something.
For 3 weeks, I investigated every single angle on Tati's life. I looked at her business, her husband, her business partners, and her own financial background. She's lying to people about everything, and worse, her husband is a career criminal. On top of those kind of tweets, she also would ask people for money for her digging. If any of you appreciate my investigative work on Tati and James Westbrook, please consider a tip for my Ko-Fi account. I spent hundreds researching and paying for court records.
I think if you don't like someone, you can easily take anything that they've said or done and paint them in a way that's not who they are.
And I agree with her. If one person doesn't like you, they are going to twist the shit you say. But when you have 5, 6 people saying the same thing, it's impossible that all of these people are the ones in the wrong.
And so I have PTSD. And so coming from this place of when you feel like the world is against you and you have PTSD, you get into this like fight or flight mode where you feel like everyone is gonna hurt you, and so you either like fight, flight, or freeze.
Hold on, I'm gonna be a petty bitch here. Freeze? What the fuck? But in all seriousness, I do have a huge issue with creators who use mental health as a sympathy card. But I'm not gonna talk about this. I'm gonna let Kim Star address this one.
Let me tell you a story. There's this YouTuber out there called Without a Crystal Ball who's involved in a lot of drama right now. In fact, so much drama with other creators that she's literally being sued by Tati Westbrook. Tati is claiming that, Without a Crystal Ball just lied and made up stuff about her to harass her or whatever. So there's a big lawsuit going on with that. Also, Without a Crystal Ball recently was flagging down some channels, claiming that leaked private information was leaked in other people's videos, which I don't believe it was. So I've been talking about this. I've been commenting about this. I've been asking Without a Crystal Ball or Katie questions about this in Twitter videos. Like, why are you flagging these YouTubers? And she just did a live stream right now where she said, when Keemstar called me out on Twitter, it made me want to kill myself. Katie, nobody wants you to harm yourself. But you're a YouTuber. You're a public figure. Your entire channel is based on you commenting on other YouTubers, you making videos on other YouTubers, you giving your opinions on other YouTubers. So now I give my opinion on some of the stuff that you're involved in, and your response is, he made me want to kill himself? That's just not right. Even if that's true, all right, which I really hope you're lying here, but even if that's true, all right, nobody wants you to kill yourself, and it's just ridiculous for you to bring that up and say that. It just doesn't seem right or fair for you to use that mental health thing as a shield of criticism. It's not fair. You have an entire channel based on you giving your opinion on other creators, and when someone does it back to you, you pull this stunt. It's not right. It's not fair. And obviously nobody wants you to harm yourself. But I think this is part of the reason why people don't trust you. I mean, this is just clear manipulation, and it's sad. And if it's not manipulation, you really felt that way, I'm sorry you did. But don't yourself.
I literally felt like no one believed me. No one cared what my side of the story was. Nobody wanted to hear my side. And that still kind of is the part that gets to me, is that there's all these videos being made about me, and yet nobody has actually come to me for my side.
Courtesy of Emily D. Baker, let's go to 3 minutes.
Unfortunately, when you're in a lawsuit, you can't speak. You can't talk about it. You can't answer questions about it. You can't share details about it. You can't tell anyone what's happening.
Then she goes on a rambling about people accusing her of other things, and she involves her child into the conversation. I am not going to talk about her kid because he is not a public figure and he has nothing to do with this, but she starts talking about her child, and I don't know why. And if you guys have been commenting on her child in her platform, just please don't.
And then there's these allegations that I've stalked someone. That's completely untrue. Again, if I were stalking people, there would be police reports, there would be criminal investigations, there would be an arrest, and that's just not true.
Also, what she said is technically not true. If somebody reported her, then yes. But if nobody reported her, she still can be a stalker or behave like a stalker.
Somebody with 9 million subscribers decided that I was the problem. I mean, really think about that for all of her issues. Really think about that, knowing the history of this person.
Honestly, I try to look into more information about Tati and James Westbrook when the whole Dramageddon 3 happened, but I couldn't find anything because, as you know, I would only go to Google, and if I can't find nothing, to me it doesn't exist. I'm not gonna go for public records and pay money to get paperwork like she did. She was the only person that I know of who actually came out with this story. As of now, her credibility is really shook to the point that I will have to wait until the whole entire lawsuit gets resolved to actually believe what it actually happened. So as of now, no, I don't know their past because I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt for now.
And then you have all these other creators that are just sort of like dogpiling on it, not reaching out to me, not asking me for any sort of clarification, refusing to work with me privately if I asked them to correct things.
Nobody has to work with anyone on YouTube. You in life, in general, build relationships with individuals so you can work together. Retaliating against them and having the sense of entitlement that they must work with you doesn't work. She should know better. And Kim Starr actually asked her to answer him on an Instagram story about her behavior.
Why are you acting like this? And don't just fucking ignore me. Answer! What are you doing? What are you doing? Maybe there's some part of the story I don't understand. Do you have any explanation for this shit?
And her explanation for this shit was blocking Kim Starr. And then she starts talking about another legal debacle she had with another YouTuber in the past, and then insinuated that CryptoArt made a misleading video about the situation, and that's why she reached out to her to correct it. The problem that I have with this situation specifically is because she self-proclaims an investigative journalist, so she should be able to, while describing the situation, name this particular video that she has an issue with, which she didn't. And so for me, outside looking in, it just looks like baseless allegations. I looked into CryptoArt's channel and I only found 2 videos talking about Without a Crystal Ball. And none of those 2 videos go in any detail about any past lawsuits that Katie has been involved in. She does mention some, but nothing particularly to align with Katie's allegation.
And when I reached out to the creator who planted that seed, she refused to either correct it or remove the video, and instead decided to expose me. And I somehow became the bad person.
CryptoArt does her job on YouTube making videos, and you became a bad person by doxing her. Trust me, it didn't happen overnight. You worked for it.
I don't know how me sharing a link to a website literally that has this person's name on it in a private server, when this person has also said their last name on their channel and on Instagram and has posted public pictures and done all of these things, like, it defies logic.
Oh, let's bring logic back. She posts this video where allegedly CryptoArt says her last name on a live stream to another YouTuber's channel.
If you think this is me mad, you have not met a Campbell before.
I'm not trying to fight with you, but we can if
I see you, Katie. I got you. She does say her last name, allegedly. It sounds like a tomato soup can. That's great. That's peachy. However, the issue is that you claim that you provided this link for someone to make a video about her. It's shitty, but it happens. People do provide information for others to make videos about YouTubers. And if that's your story and you're sticking to it, why would you even have to post that link onto Unirock's Discord server? You have emails. It's all over the place. Go watch my other video. You say it a lot, at least 13 times. In my opinion, that was a malicious share. Don't come and give us lame excuses. Now, to make it worse, some of CryptoArt's fans actually texted her own address, freaking the shit out of Crypto, and now she is moving the heck out of her house in a hurry. That's pretty fucked up.
The only reason I cared to even look into this person was because she falsely published something about me and refused to correct it. And then somebody told me, well, I'll do a video that shows that she has lied about other people, okay? So that's how I got there.
What does that sound like, huh?
I literally Googled her to see who she was. That's how I got there. And then I shared a link, not seeing that her full name was in there, to the creator who said he was making a video about her, because he promised me he was making a video about her.
Here's a suggestion. Instead of posting at a Discord server, which is a lame excuse, send it to an owl. And then she kept going on and on and on, trying to justify why she took revenge over CryptoArt and stooped as low as she did. Instead of understanding that this, in her own mind, is other people's job and just...
So when she wouldn't do that, I had to speak to my YouTube manager, who then said reach out to her and ask her and let her know that what she got was wrong and that you'd like her to remove the video, and that, you know, let her know that YouTube is like, you've talked to YouTube about this, that kind of thing. And I did. And instead of, you know, responding and saying, oh, great, yes, I got this wrong, instead, she berated me and threatened me.
I'm sorry, I missed the threats that Katie speak of. Please let me know down below. Because as far as I remember, Katie was the one doing the threatening.
How am I supposed to correct something that's out there that's false about me when that person wouldn't respond and then instead goes onto her channel to humiliate me again and calling me it gets worse? And, you know, basically at that point, I would say it's harassment.
I'm gonna help Katie out here and say that that's in her opinion, because the definition of the dictionary, he says that it needs to be on a regular basis. And if you go to Creepshow Art's YouTube channel, you will see that she only has 2 videos about Without a Crystal Ball, which is a far cry from the 40 videos that Katie did on Tati Westbrook. She went back into the rambling, calling all of the creators that do not want to do what she wants unprofessional, that they are refusing to work with her. It's the same sad, violent story. She also kept referring to all of these creators something along the lines of giving bad reporting. I don't think she understands the difference between actual journalism and commentary. That's probably one of the reasons why she has so many issues in the platform. At this point, she starts to move on and talk about YOUTUBE. And based on this part of the clip, it gives me the impression that she is saying that he was the one who was planning to do the video on Creepshow Art.
So again, like, I shared the link because he said he was making a video on her. I had no idea that his plan the whole time was to basically like flip on me. That same day that I shared it, I happened to walk into a Discord phone call where they were like talking to admins, and when I added myself to the call, I literally heard Unirock say, I am not going to go down for being on Katie's side. I'm getting too much heat for this.
Do you guys have the same impression, or is it just me? Let me know.
So I think maybe he was getting a lot of backlash for supporting me. This was someone who I trusted, who told me repeatedly that anything I talked to him about was private, who repeatedly promised me, Katie, we are friends. I would never betray your trust. So I heard him say, like, I'm not going to take the backlash for Katie. And then suddenly at 3 in the morning, when he wasn't there, when I shared the link, he literally wasn't there. He didn't see it happen. The link was there for 2 seconds. 2 people saw it and they said, oh, her last name is there. And I said, oh my God, I am so sorry, because I felt so bad. I did not see the name. I felt terrible. They said, no, it's totally fine. It's an honest mistake. Don't worry about it. Hours go by. I'm still in the server. Nothing's happening. Suddenly, he starts getting more backlash for supporting me. And then at 3 in the morning, develops this story that I have somehow doxed this woman. And then the irony in all of this, you guys, is that this happened in a private server where there was probably like 5 people there. He's the one that put it out there. He's the one, if he cared so much about this woman's privacy and not people not knowing her last name, he would not have made a video about it. The only reason you make a video about it in a situation like that is to get outrage, to get views, to get clicks, and to pile on. He needed, in my opinion, to show everyone that he wasn't biased to me, because he was getting a lot of backlash that week that's saying, well, you're just in Katie's pocket, you're on Katie's payroll, you can't be objective. So I think he had to come out with a story that I doxed her. He knew I didn't dox her. And then when I reached out to him after he started making these videos, he refused to talk to me. He wouldn't respond to me. And when I spoke to his girlfriend that same day and I said, what is he doing? I didn't dox him. And she said to me, don't worry about it. He's not mad at you, Katie. Just trust the process. He's going to get this all cleared up. It'll be just like last year when people were falsely accusing me of making these screenshots. And she even said to me, no matter how scary this gets, you just have to trust him.
I don't know who Unirock is. I only heard of him once the whole situation started happening and I made a video about the doxing. But I find it hilarious how these two turned on each other like this. And how she's still out here throwing the man under the bus.
Just because someone says something on YouTube, who all of us creators, I think, I can't say this enough, are motivated by financial benefit. We're motivated by subscribers. We're motivated by views. Any creator that's in the commentary community that says anything that says that they aren't is lying.
Again, Katie Joy stating things as fact and speaking for others without knowing what she's talking about. Just because this is about money for her, it doesn't mean that it's about money for everybody. Some people actually do care that their subscribers are waiting for content. Some people actually do care about the content they're putting out there, even if it doesn't make them money.
I think a lot of these channels do the exact same thing to creators. They hold in the sense of anything that you've done or said can be used against you if you don't play by their rules. And the minute you don't abide by their rules or you don't do what they say, they will turn on you. And then it cascades this effect of it looks like a lot of people are mad at you, but they don't tell you, these creators don't tell you that they're all friends.
Now let's talk about this hypothesis of hers. So she's basically saying that people hold black on her and she didn't do something and now they're all turning on her. That's what I'm hearing here. So what is it? Because it looks like she was never friends with them. If she was friends with them and then they told her to do something and then she didn't and now they're all cascading on her, where is this past friendship to make them now turn on her? This makes no sense. Please, somebody help me.
Like, do you really think I'm worried about what Keemstar says about me? This is a man that has his own mess, like, period. Like, I don't stand by what he does. I don't stand by what he stands for. I don't stand by his beliefs.
I don't really have a formed opinion on Keemstar. I just know he's a big YouTuber. I don't watch his content, but she was pretty grateful when he was actually supporting her. Very easy right now for her to say that she doesn't care about what he thinks.
And that's why I said, like, I understand why James Charles felt that way, because what I'm going through happened to James Charles and the same person was involved.
Oh girl, no, it's not the same. You are not the same person. And if you guys agree with that, just write nay down below in the comment section.
And I did not strike those channels. I issued a privacy complaint because they published an email that they did not have the consent to publish that contained my private business information. And business information is private. Like, even though I have a public platform, what I'm doing offline in my business is not for the public.
78@gmail.com. You can share this with other people to let them know.
That doesn't sound like a very private way to deal with your private business email.
All they had to do, it wasn't a strike. Literally all they had to do, if they followed it, was blur it out. That's it. Like, if they were showing the email, all they would have had to do is blur it out.
And all you have to do is
let it go!
We shouldn't be publishing private conversations we're not privy to. If you were a party to that, maybe, but even then, she didn't have the permission to publish it because I said she did not have my consent.
Since we're talking about legal things, let's see what the badass lawyer has to say so we can get the facts straight and not fuckery.
Emails in certain contexts can be private if there is a legal obligation to privacy. An email between two individuals is not private, just like a DM between two individuals is not private. With the emails, a DM between two people isn't private unless both people agree that it's confidential. You can consent to keeping something confidential and say, we are keeping this conversation confidential. We are keeping this conversation off the record. We are not going to share this, but both sides have to consent.
Moving forward, I'm not going to be doing anything with copyright or community guideline stuff. I'm not going to be responding to anyone, and I'm just going to try to stay mentally safe and healthy.
As the live wrapped up, I was just staring at that live chat and their response was pretty mixed. A lot of people were just asking her the tough questions, but she did not look at the chat. All of the moderators were deleting questions, were deleting comments. Obviously, some of them were really not constructive at all, just people telling her to look for help, people telling her what they think about her. The mods were telling them to stop. This one guy even said they can delete the comments, but we believe people are screenshotting right now, which is Katie's not wrong. People were commenting the fact that she's always saying that she's not going to respond and calling her a mess. But there was also some love going on there. But the majority of the people were just telling her to just get off the internet and stay as long as possible and don't respond, and trying to see if she can take a break because that's well needed. But once that was over, as far as live chat, we moved into the comment section that also started getting pretty heated pretty fast. But they also had a lot of love to give to Katie. A lot of people were worried, wishing her well. We also had the very non-constructive criticism, the constructive criticism, and the comments that she actually answered. So let's go over them.
I'm glad you're okay. I'm commenting in the first few minutes, but I'm hopeful this video will be different and a step in the better direction. I'm doing my best. Are you? Are you okay? Stay strong. Hurt people, and judge not, least here be judged. I wish I could give you a hug. I'm so sick of the attack. The viciousness is disgusting. If you don't like the channel, don't watch it. However, I look forward to your videos. It must be really stressful for you, Katie. I hope you're finding a way to stay calm until this all settles down. Like people are watching now, waiting to twist. Said, I'm glad you're okay. Stop deleting comments. Just let it flow and respond as needed. People have the right to question you without getting deleted. You're digging yourself deeper here. Just unplug. You're backpedaling so fast, your bike is now being manufactured. 4 days, huh? Nope. Take off 2 weeks. Unplug. You are delusional. Please get help. You did call her a brat, and you know the truth, but cannot admit it. Another thing, it doesn't take knowing how YouTube works to be a decent human being. Stop blaming everything else but yourself. Maybe stay offline, period. You are accused without receipts. You stated you would not give details, and then you name names? WTH.
And here are some of the comments that Katie responded to, and I'll let you decide if she's telling the truth or not.
Faith, you used the platform to destroy a lot of people. I told you your day would come. Hey up, please direct this energy to all channels covering commentary. I made mistakes, I own up to them all. I'm owning up to them. No, you aren't owning up to them. You're making more excuses. I used to defend you, and I thought people were just being unfair. But over time, I have learned that I was mistaken. You don't truly take responsibility for your actions. Other people still will. So tired of all this laundry being constantly aired. Stop provoking and stop engaging. Just move on. I will. Thanks for your insight. You have said in the past that you are an investigative journalist. Where's your degree from? Why does that matter? None needed a degree to be a journalist. That's not the big issue. I know she does have a bachelor's and might be in writing or communication, but you actually don't need a degree to be an investigative journalist. She has done investigative writing and been published by the Pathos website, maybe other things. The credibility and prestige of an individual investigative journalist often comes from the prestige and ethical reputation of the journal or publication they write for. If you don't find her very credible, that's all good. But investigative journalism is not as quality or groundbreaking as others, but it seems to be perfectly an honest and accurate term to describe her field for what it is.
So let's finally talk about Katie's education. This person is correct. You do not need to have a degree in journalism to become a journalist, as it is written in our Constitution that we have the freedom of press. However, most reputable news outlets will not hire without a minimum of a bachelor's degree in journalism. Katie has no background in journalism whatsoever as far as her education. She has a bachelor's degree in Spanish language and literature, which in my opinion just makes her highly qualified to write telenovelas. And then let's talk about her 1 year experience, alleged 1 year experience in Pathos. I don't know what kind of processes Pathos have. And if you do know, please let me know down in the comments. But I feel like Pathos did never check Katie's writing, because as far as my understanding, Pathos is a religious website that caters for an audience who is seeking to understand different types of religion, and Katie was posting there gossip and drama. So I don't know, because apart from the Pathos gig, the only other listed writing background she has on LinkedIn is her blog on Facebook, and I'm pretty sure Facebook does not do any fact checking on anything that people write on their platform. So based on the information that she posted herself on LinkedIn. I am sorry, but she does not have a good enough writing background or journalistic experience for I to safely say that she is a reliable or reputable source of information. Before you come to the comment section and say the same thing about this channel, just remember that I have never claimed that I'm a journalist, and I always tell you guys to do additional research because everything that I discuss here in this channel is my opinion and my opinion only, not to be taken as a fact.
Why are you deleting comments? Can you handle the hate? Comments are not being deleted. Some are being held that contain words that are not allowed, or if they are completely nasty. But otherwise, the comments are up. So you are blocking out words, basically. Are they rumors, though? There are a lot of receipts out there. Yeah, they are rumors. Another rumor is that my attorney exposed me. I just posted a statement from him on my Instagram. He's not the attorney on this case. And he also was not even speaking about me when they were talking to him. He runs an educational legal channel. So you are deleting comments. For one, I don't know why you keep saying that you haven't been able to speak on things and respond because you haven't stopped responding. Two, most people don't take the complaint at face value. We are going off your own videos. And three, I have not seen you actually apologize for some of the serious stuff. I do hope well for you, but I do think you need to own up and quit attacking everybody who speaks against you. I won't be attacking anyone or responding to anyone else. If she just owned up, so many people would be like, okay, maybe there's hope on YouTube. In journalism, you have to be teachable.
As the like to dislike ratio started tipping to the dislike, she turned it off and there was no more like to dislike ratio until the comment section was turned off as well. I have never met Kitty Joy and I have never spoken to her in person. And all of my opinions are based on the videos of hers that I watch and not anybody else's videos. In addition to tweets and other things that she posts out there and then she deletes, but I still get to see them. Well, let's talk about the doxing. I think that problem with the doxing, even if she claims it was unintentional, it was still done with maliciousness because she could have sent an email. She talks about that email so much, why doesn't she use it? So in the end of the day, I don't think that there is an excuse for her having posted that on somebody else's Discord server rather than sending it to them privately, since privacy is something that she's been fighting for lately. The notion that tea and commentary channels are friends and they have some sort of secret agenda on YouTube is just cuckoo bananas to me. In my opinion, what happened here is just that over the years, she has had various issues with different creators who, because they don't speak to each other in that level, they weren't aware of each other's issues with the same common denominator. Now that she is been on the limelight and people have been talking about her and sharing their own stories about her, now these channels are realizing that they have more in common than they expected. But not in a second of my life I believed that this is all a plot and there is some sort of like grand scheme and plot here. My hypothesis at this time about this whole situation is that I just feel like she is actually enjoying all of the attention. The attention is giving her the views. She highly monetizes on everything and she actually deletes things really quickly because she wants to make sure that people rush to her channel to see what's going on before she deletes it. And lastly, I must say that I'm not surprised that she's being sued. After finding out that she has nearly no experience with professional news reporting, the way that she delivers her quote-unquote exclusive news in such a speed that is almost impossible to fact-check everything that she says, it's just a no-brainer. There's 40 videos that she made on Tati Westbrook. If you look at them, they do not have that many views and she's still getting sued. If Tati was going to sue her just because she wanted to sue somebody who's talking about her, she should have gone after creators like D'Angelo Wallace, who has over 1 million subscribers and made a video about Tati that has over 5 million views. So the fact that Katie is being sued by Tati says a lot about Katie and the way that she's been behaving towards the community, the way that she's been carrying herself throughout all of this. It's just a confirmation. But now I want to know your opinion. Go down below in the comment section and let me know what you think about all of this. And if you like this video, please don't forget to drop a like. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel now and ring the bell button so you can get notified every time I post. Also follow me on my socials. They will be down in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next upload.